one ladder, and Shinsuke Nakamura applied an armbar on top of another ladder.
Okay.
And Seth Rollins jumped off one ladder and did a flying knee onto somebody else on another ladder.
Oh,
back down below.
this match was
just getting
fire, nigga. That's hilarious.
Really didn't appreciate it, so he booted them both in the head. Then Ricochet was doing crazy dives. That allowed Big E and Drew McIntyre to stand off.
Okay.
Big man, and they wanted to slap some big man meat. Drew got the better of him for a little while before.
Pause. Did you hear what this nigga just said? I'm dead.
Wanted to slap some big man meat. Drew got the better of him for a little while. They're gonna have a match at SummerSlam.
Finn Balor?
John Cena.
John Cena! Oh, damn! It's good. Dark Knight gang in this thing. Gang. Bro, you see the title. I told you I'm back on the WWE. I already told you. Look, I cut my thumb yesterday on a champagne bottle. That shit was deep. I was bleeding a lot. It was crazy. Anyway, today I'm about to react to a video. What Culture Wrestling ups and downs from Money in the Bank. I'm ready to hop on into this. If you watch my other reactions, you already know I'm lit, bro. I had this whole this little wine bottle was full of tequila. I drank all of it. I'm lit, nigga. So we about to watch this. We're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna try my best not to be ignorant, but if I am, it is what it is, nigga. I'm ready to hop on into this. I reacted to SmackDown the other day. It was so fuego, nigga. This video better be fire. Shout out to my boy Simon from What Culture Wrestling. I really, bro, Simon, you my nigga. Like, I fuck with you heavy, cuz you and your bald head. I fuck with you heavy. You know what's funny? That's how some of y'all feel about me. Y'all be leaving me comments like, Brandy, you the homie. I mess with you heavy. That's cool. I appreciate that shit. Because there's some YouTubers I feel like that about as well. And Simon is one of them. He's funny. You know what I'm saying? He got little jokes here and there. Him with his little bald head. That nigga buff too. Like, I want to lift weights with him one day. I'm sure he's way stronger than me. Y'all know I lift though. But I'm not like, I'm pretty strong, but I'm not super strong. But I could tell. I swear I thought I heard somebody. I don't know. I got these headphones on, so I'm tripping. Anyway, let's hop into this video.
So the sun is burning down here in England, so we have to rip off our sleeves for no apparent reason. And before we do get into some super duper good stuff, I also have to talk about Peacock. Now, again, I'm here in the United Kingdom. The WWE Network, we still have it, was absolutely fine. But it sounds like if you did have to watch Money in the Bank through the Peacock service, well, it absolutely sucked, and that should never happen. So I'm taking my finger of blame, and I'm wiggling it at you. I don't mean you, the people watching. I mean the people that didn't fix it. Also, because it is the first ups and downs.
You better wiggle that at your bitch.
We have to crown our MVP of the last 7 days, and this one isn't even hard. In week 1, it gave it to Malachi Black for obvious reasons, and now, my word, Big E gets MVP of the week because he made me feel things I haven't felt in years.
Pause.
So it's my pleasure to tell you that we here at What Culture Wrestling have teamed up with Tops, the only people you need to start talking about when we start chatting about WWE trading cards. You can start collecting them now in the real world like I have done.
Trading
nice
cards?
And topical, my own Money in the Bank, which is full of cards. I've got
a get your sponsorship, nigga. I don't want to hear about none of that,
and you bet your ass that I'm going to be going
that
and get in touch. Fans have done really weird things to the Uso storylines. Ever since people have been back in buildings, the Usos kind of just turned up to SmackDown. Then they rolled into Money in the Bank and they beat the Mysterios. And now they're your brand new tag team champions. I tell you why I do like it though, because I think this is going to lead us in somewhat of a new direction and will tie into the family holding all the gold. The only sad part about all this is it was happening on the kickoff show. And
God damn, those lemons, that little lemon peel I just ate. It didn't even taste like lemon. It tastes like straight up tequila. That shit was disgusting.
I think you should do a title change on the kickoff show because WWE has told us over the years they don't really care about the kickoff show. Of course, Jimmy and Jay were asshats too. I mean, they basically both pinned Rey Mysterio, and the referee didn't see it, but it was very fun. The fans loved the fact they did see the belts change hands. I'm giving it up. Money in the Bank match, and as always, the best thing about all of it was that every single person that walked down that aisle was celebrating and greeting like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're here. And because of that, I now feel like they're bigger stars. Wrestling is nice and simple. It cracked me up during Alexa Bliss's entrance because we were like, oh my god, it's Alexa Bliss, even though she legitimately killed people. But don't worry about that. But it was her taking on Natalya, taking on Tamina. What's that? Nope, there's nobody.
shit. Okay.
Taking on Nikki Ash, taking on Asuka, taking on Naomi, taking on Liv Morgan.
God damn.
On Asuka. Now we do go.
Okay, that's a lot right there. They had a whole Royal Rumble, nigga. Who you going for? Let me know down in the comments. You already know. Liv Morgan, that's my bitch. I'm trying to make her pregnant. Alexa Bliss, that's my bitch. She's a demon, and I like that shit. Who else did she say? I forgot. My fault. I'm lit. Leave me alone. Let's just watch.
Because of course she has voodoo powers.
Yup.
So one of the first things I think she was going to do was use her pocus pocus to make the briefcase unattach itself from the hook and then float its way down into her hands. But thankfully, Asuka saw this, ran up to her, and just booted her right in the head.
Asuka is fucking lit.
Tamina then made sure she ruined Liv Morgan and Zelina Vega, which worked very well for me.
Zelina Vega too?
And asked, was Tamina meaner than she was the last time we saw her? She was really aggressive here, so we mark it with a yes. I was then in tears though, because as Alexa Bliss and Zelina Vega met on the top of a ladder, Alexa Bliss decided, I'm going to use my voodoo powers. And she hypnotized her to the point that Zelina Vega started going back down the ladder. Now look, this actually would have been fine if Alexa had kept this going. But I suppose, and I'm making this up, her MP gauge ran out. She didn't have any power left.
You stupid.
I'm sorry, you cannot get away with that. If you want to introduce it.
My boy said her MP gauge, right? Her MP meter ran out. She had to charge that bitch up. She ran out of magical powers. Nigga, I'm dead.
Certain things within the law of your product, and you stick to those things. I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. But when I can pick massive holes, it just falls all down. Gandalf in Lord of the Rings didn't go, well, I could stop Sauron, but I'm not going to, even though I got this magical stick. I'm very sorry.
If his staff ran out of MP?
Because then everybody was being powerbomb to ladders. I was like, Naomi. When Naomi decided, well, look, there's Zelina Vega lying on another one. Why don't I pick Liv Morgan up?
Nigga, I'm hella close. Let me back up. My fault. I'm drunk. Leave me alone.
Vega in the process.
Okay.
They were dead. Natalya then started climbing the ladder with Zelina on her back, which was very impressive.
That looked fire,
At this juncture, everybody else in the match went, look, we need to stop Alexa Bliss.
I love when the women get into it, bro. That shit fire.
She has hocus pocus magic powers coming out of her hands.
Oh, so they start jumping her?
And they buried her under a bunch of ladders. And that was the last we saw of her. Once again, you could go, well, why aren't you zapping your way out of there? And also, you could hear the crowd here too. They love Alexa Bliss, as do
Of course, me too.
You just have to knock all the other stuff on the end.
Bro, what if I meet Alexa Bliss and I'm not even gonna sound like a creeper on the internet. I'll leave it alone. But all right, fuck it. I'm lit. Let's say I meet Alexa Bliss or one of these female wrestlers that I have a crush on, and I end up like getting with them and they like me too. Wouldn't that be crazy? That would be a W, nigga. Nah, think about that shit, cuz that'd be a fucking W.
Soon after this, though, it did kind of just end because everybody had climbed up their own ladder and they were all fighting. So Nikki Ash went, all right, if you're not going to pay attention to me, I'm going to climb up a ladder over your heads and I'm just going to grab a briefcase. And nobody tried to stop her.
Who?
It's a bit like somebody zooming in to get the last
Nikki.
piece of cake at a wedding because everybody else like, man, well, I want that.
Nikki's a good wrestler, though.
The bride and groom instead. But I did think this was a very smart choice. I like the character. Don't forget, kids watch pro wrestling. And how the hell could they not be into that? Oh my gosh, you're going to be a superhero. They also did.
When did Nikki become a fucking superhero?
We are definitely not done with everything between Roman Reigns, Jay, and Jimmy Uso, though, because then we did go to the back, and I was like, man, I'm so proud of you. You guys are great, Jay, you especially. But as for you, Jim, you could just smell the tension in the air. So we shall have to keep our eye on it because something is brewing. Especially given what happened at the end of the night. AJ Styles and Omos versus the Viking Raiders for Raw Tag Team titles next. And who knows?
I missed the Viking Raiders, nigga.
At WrestleMania, months later, they still getting cheered. I mean, shock horror. But I keep seeing people taking shots at my man Omos too, but I think he's great. Sure, his entire gimmick is, look, I'm really tall, and I'm going to throw you around the place, but not every single wrestler has to be five-star worker, flippy-dippy-doo-dah person. I do like a bit of variety.
Omos is just whatever?
It just pleases me what you're going to do. So at one point, he grabbed his friend AJ Styles, chucked him over the top ropes, and because AJ is one of the best professional wrestlers in the history of this earth,
Facts.
he landed on Ivar's shoulders and gave him a Hurricane Rana to the floor.
Oh.
We take wrestling for granted these days.
Facts. That would have been dope as
Every time
fuck.
Omos was in there too, he was just wrecking everybody, including giving a gorilla press slam to Ivar.
I've been waiting to see how beastie this nigga is.
To AJ Styles.
Okay.
Do you know what Omos did?
What?
He pushed Eric into Ivar to break up the pin.
Okay.
Just, I'm really tall. I love him, flub you. This also allowed him.
Not
to
even that he tall. He a
on
beast,
Eric,
bro. He's
and he
like a
pinned him
beast.
to retain the title.
Jolly Green Giant is fire,
cheers
nigga.
in the crowd. And sure, some people are like, well, if he wasn't with AJ Styles right now, he wouldn't be doing very well.
I don't care.
He is with AJ Styles.
Exactly.
Well, that's all that matters.
Jolly Green Giant, nigga.
Noise, though,
Jolly Black Giant, nigga.
Because everybody wants to cheer. And talking about cheering or crowds making
Drew.
noise, Drew McIntyre was then here, and I went, ruh-roh. Now let me make this clear. This man is awesome. He is one of the best in the world right now.
Facts.
But when he did arrive backstage and say, oh,
Fucking
I'm going to win
Scottish
the bank,
psychopath.
people out there in the crowd, well, they started to boo him. I mean, who the hell boos Drew McIntyre? I was like, fans.
Why am I so close to the screen, bro?
MP3. And his whole point here was, I'm going to win Money in the Bank. And when he was in that match later, you didn't really hear much of these jeers. What I think we do need to do is have Drew telling these stories. They were cute for a while, but I think they've run their course. I was then torn after this for a little while. Before I got so excited about where it may be leading, I
forgot how buff this nigga is. God damn, look at this nigga, Bobby Lashley. Why this nigga so buff? If you found out your girlfriend or your wife was cheating on you with Bobby Lashley, would you even do anything? Nigga, I'll walk in the room and be like, you know what? I'm not even mad. Like, this nigga is twice the size of me. I don't know if his dick is, but goddamn!
do a backflip on the floor and I hurt my hip because I can't do a backflip. But Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE title.
Kofi versus Bobby Lashley?
Smile on your face because everybody loves that guy, which was kind of.
Of course, he don't get his ass
really,
beat.
The idea here was to turn Bobby Lashley into an even bigger monster than he already was.
Yeah.
Because he came to the ring.
Yeah.
For around about 10
he gonna
minutes.
eat Kofi for dinner, nigga.
Pulverized our friend known as Kofi.
Exactly.
MVP was being a dick at the start because he grabbed Kofi Kingston's foot to make you go, oh no, it's going to be like Kofi versus Brock from SmackDown in 2019. But it wasn't.
I'm glad.
But outside of that, I think maybe Kofi
crazy.
Kingston got one pin.
Remember that shit? When Kofi lost to Brock Lesnar in like 0.5 seconds?
But otherwise, Bob was just killing this man. I mean, he threw him over here, he threw him over there.
Kofi was okay with
3 dominators. And even when he applied the Hurt Lock at one point, he's like, nah, I'm not done. So he beat him up some more. He didn't change his mind because I think he got bored and actually went.
Why is Kofi okay with getting his ass beat? That sucks. I actually really like Kofi Kingston. But of course, Bobby Lashley's a monster. Like, but why are you okay with getting your ass beat? Like, nah, bro. I ain't trying to go out like no wimp.
No, I'm going to put the Hurt Lock back on.
Kofi, I'm still
had
you
nowhere
heavy,
to go.
You know what I mean?
I don't know whether he
probably
tapped
had
out, the
to.
referee just called it. But even the announcers would go, please stop, please stop. Somebody help.
See, yeah, I would never want to be in that predicament, bro.
The point is this, though. Later on, somebody known as Big E is going to win Money in the Bank, and I will save my emotions for that moment because it only seems appropriate. So now WWE has to tell this story. Big E, the best buddy of Kofi Kingston, needs to go to Raw, and he needs to not only get revenge for his pal, but he needs to become the WWE champion. Because not only is that a terrific long-term narrative, but it's also something that will make me feel warm and fuzzy in my tum. Sometimes in WWE, they don't give us that, and it made me so pumped thinking about it. Now I need it. Otherwise, I will set my own expectations, which I've already done. If I don't get it, I'll be annoyed. And this is going to be even better, too, if we are going to do Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg at SummerSlam, and Lashley also run through Goldberg, the man that used to run through other people. So it's all calmed down. I have made this up in my own head, but it did make me think this was a really good piece of business if we're building to the future. And I think that we are. So controversy continued next as per WWE just wants to wind everybody up. But it was Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's title. Let's get some.
You know I love Charlotte. That's the motherfucking queen. But at the same time, Rhea Ripley is my bitch, bro. Let's go, Rhea. I'm going for Rhea Ripley,
Out
cuz.
the way first, and that is that Charlotte Flair is a terrific professional wrestler.
Of course.
More of this crazy rhetoric that comes
Of
out on the
course.
internet. If you were starting a wrestling promotion, of course you'd call her or send her a text saying, "Oh, please
Charlotte
come
is
in."
the
Looks like a
queen.
star built from the ground up.
Yes.
The thing is, that's already true, and it's always going to be true.
Yeah.
Whereas Rhea Ripley has all the potential in the world.
Facts.
You've got to make sure that you're pushing her, and you've got to make
I
sure
love
you
the
build
fact
her.
that she's
So when Charlotte Flair
dark,
became the Raw
that
Women's
punk
Champ,
star, nigga.
just scratch
Alright,
my
hold on.
bald head a little bit. The best part was the crowd cheered for both of them, and that is how they've been portrayed. They've both been the hero and the villain. But then Charlotte tried to make it clear she doesn't want this because she flipped the fans off. Some people are like, oh, I can't believe she did that.
I like
She's
that.
a bad guy, you
I
absolute
love
palavas.
Charlotte.
That's
Yeah,
her whole
I
job.
love that
They also
shit.
went back into fantasy booking mode during this because I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe we're going to do Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam, and I don't care. When you're building a card, that's going to be marquee. But breaking it right down, this was such an awesome pro wrestling match.
I'm
I
sure.
don't even care.
I gotta watch this, bro.
They just kicked each
got
other's ass,
to,
including
bro.
the German suplex from Ripley, where Charlotte landed right on her head. She wanted revenge right away, so she gave Rhea the big boot, and I'm pretty sure that was just leather smacking into her face. They then started trading and reversing, including Rhea Ripley busting out her power moves when she
Okay.
was able to get Charlotte into this standing
Ooh, I hope
suplex.
Rhea
And
won.
later on, I think when Ripley was going for the riptide, Charlotte reversed it into a DDT. Honestly, this was clubbing great. Charlotte
I'm
also
sure.
did that moonsault to the outside.
All right,
It's always blows my
Charlotte.
brain because it defies physics.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
She was trying to cheat later on by putting her feet on the ropes, but thankfully
Okay.
the ref saw it.
Okay.
Then she hit this natural selection for
Oh.
7.99999.
Okay.
I didn't care, man. I was plugged in. The finish
Okay.
too was pretty brutal, and we didn't have any shenanigans.
Okay.
Charlotte took Rhea Ripley's foot and she kind of put it between the ring post and the stairs.
Uh-huh.
And then she ran at the steel and she booted it.
Okay.
Kind of told, oh, no, Rhea's broken her
Come
ankle.
on,
Now,
Rhea.
the referee just watched this and went, yeah, I think that's fine. So who the hell knows what the rules are? But back in the ring, Charlotte locked in the figure eight. Rhea Ripley had to tap out. And
Oh.
like I say, the belt changed.
Oh.
Everybody was going crazy afterwards. It was a really, really good match. And as long as we do have a plan for coming out the other side of this, then good. That's what, once again, wrestling is all about. Riddle then went...
I'm not mad. I love Charlotte. She's the queen. I will never take that away from Charlotte Flair. She is the queen. I love you, Charlotte. But Rhea is the up-and-coming star. I need her to fucking shine. You feel me? I'm not mad, though. I'm not mad. But what is Shinsuke doing? Let's keep going.
Riddle in front of a live crowd. I'm really glad he did. The short version is that Riddle, Rick Boogs, and Shinsuke Nakamura started playing Randy Orton's theme, the worst version of Randy Orton's theme I've ever heard, on a guitar, and everybody was dancing when we cut to Kevin Owens, who looked like he was so disgusted by this, he was going to throw up. It was really, really entertaining. This also meant the next up was the men's Money in the Bank match.
Okay.
Just excellent. It was just brilliant. It was just good. It was just great.
Okay.
It was just all the positive words you can think of.
Yeah, yeah.
How any of them are walking today, I don't know. And it was, of course, to mention Kevin Owens taking on Drew McIntyre, taking on Riddle, taking on Seth Rollins, taking on John Morrison, taking on Big E, taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, taking on Ricochet. And even before the bell rang, I was like, this field is too good for the potential not to be anything other than Fabu.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's
Rollins and Morrison
that's
started
crazy.
by
All
arguing over who had the better drip game, and I laughed because I'm an
That's
absolute
hilarious.
moron. Riddle didn't appreciate it, so he booted them both in the head. Then Ricochet was doing crazy dives. That allowed Big E and Drew McIntyre to stand off.
Okay.
They were a big man, and they wanted to slap some big man meat. Drew got the better of him for a little while before.
Pause. Did you hear what this nigga just said? I'm
Wanted
dead.
to slap some big man meat. Drew got the better of him for a little while before Big E did that crazy spear through the ropes to the outside. But then you cut to Shinsuke Nakamura and Kevin Owens as Shinsuke gave him an explosive suplex on the ladder. This
Okay.
was only the first few minutes of the match.
Oh,
Morrison then corkscrewed off one ladder, and Shinsuke Nakamura applied an armbar on top of another ladder.
Okay.
And Seth Rollins jumped off one ladder and did a flying knee onto somebody else on another ladder.
Oh,
and
shit.
everybody back down below.
This match was
just getting
fire,
smashed by that.
nigga.
And please remember that being hit by a ladder hurts a lot. I don't think
I'm
anything
sure.
is as painful though as Owens being falconed arrowed onto the edge of another ladder, courtesy of Seth Rollins and kind of John Morrison. And then Riddle was just dropping everybody with RKOs.
Okay.
The crowd loved that. McIntyre was then the dude in control, and he was just doing these crazy flips because again he is awesome.
I
And
love
it
Drew
actually looked
McIntyre.
like he was going
Scottish
to win. But then what we
fucking.
predicted was going to happen. Did
I don't
happen.
even know.
Sometimes you just got to walk the obvious path. And out was Veer, out was Shanky, out was Jinder Mahal. They all beat the hell out of him.
Jinder Mahal.
Appreciate the fact he
Haven't seen
replied
this
to their
nigga in
messages.
years.
They actually dragged him away. So I suppose this is a kidnapping. Somebody needs to phone the police. Ricochet straight afterwards made you forget about that though, because he did this crazy flip after being pushed off a ladder onto everybody else, where I actually thought about ringing NASA and say, can you please tell me what's happened to gravity? Because this didn't make any sense.
Oh,
almost
shit, okay.
instantly after, it was bye-bye Kevin Owens. Because we had set up a ladder bridge at ringside, so Rollins grabbed Kevin Owens and he powerbombed him from the ring, over the top rope, through the ladder, and that was that. What are we doing? How did we get here? Do you remember wrestling was just like, oh, well, we're going to do a few rounds and we'll do some grappling? That is gone. This all did build up to the fact, though, that Big E was the last man standing. And as he did start to climb up the ladder, I wanted to believe, but again, it is WWE, and sometimes you don't let yourself.
Hold on.
But then he grabbed the briefcase.
Okay.
He grabbed the hook.
Okay.
He unhooked it.
Okay.
If you can believe it.
Big E
is the money in the bank holder. And
shout out to the homie, cuz.
I made so much noise.
Oh.
I watched this very early in the morning.
Yeah.
I had this on my wall. My neighbours telling me to shut the hell up. The fans erupted too, and this was the right move because it made you satisfied. The guy that we all love and the guy that we all want to succeed actually gave us that moment.
Yes, sir.
My word, we have to do everything.
Nigga, I'm too hyped.
Earlier.
All right, let me chill.
Let me chill. It's the easiest up of the night as well, and I just got to keep everything.
All right, let me chill.
Then if we don't go with my initial plan, he just becomes world champion in 2021 and 2022. The emotion that he admitted as well, he could so be the biggest babyface in all of WWE.
Yeah, shout out to the homie, cuz. I'm hyped.
We also had a mammoth tease for what was going to come next as we did cut to the back, and there was Seth Rollins walking around going, it's not fair. I should have been the Universal Championship match anyway. So instead, I will just call dibs between Edge and Roman Reigns. Whoever wins, I shall be next. He wasn't going to live up to that at all. This allowed us to segue into Roman Reigns versus Edge for the Universal title. I just want to say thank you to the fans, because your noise made this feel like a super duper mega main event. We booed the villain, we cheered the hero. It was like a roller coaster ride of craziness.
I'm sure.
And I am giving it up.
Hold on, I'm trying to order my food.
Roman's
I'm some
arm
panda.
because of course he's obsessed with the
I'm
crossface
drunk.
now.
I'm hungry.
I was like, Edge, you don't do that to the head of the table. You don't try and take out his eating device. You'll just piss him off. This is why the Rated R Superstar got Samoan dropped on the outside, and from there, Roman just went to work. And now look, was it a little bit slow? Yes. Was there a very specific pace to it? Yes. But the whole point of that is that this was going to go 30 minutes plus or something like that, and they wanted to build to this massive crescendo when all of a sudden Edge was fighting back. And I thought they pulled it off perfectly. Some idiots were also chanting, "You can't wrestle at Roman Reigns." It was like chanting at me, "You have wonderful, long, luscious hair." And when Edge did start getting back into this, everybody was so up to it, and some of the near falls sent people looping. When that didn't work too, they spilled to the outside, and Roman Reigns went for one spear, missed, and went crashing through the barricades. So that Edge, he took a run up, and he ran, and he speared Roman Reigns through another barricade. Now look, I know WWE loves that spot, but somehow it works every time. Referee Charles Robinson then proved he was made of paper, because Edge basically breathed on him, and he fell down like he'd been shot. But of course, we did that so we could hit the shenanigans button, or taking that piece of the broken chair and allowing Roman and Edge both to apply that crossface. They really like making the other guy look stupid. As soon as Edge got the better of this though, out came Jimmy and Jay to try and help their tribal chief, but then the Mysterios stopped them, so we're not done with that feud. And this was almost like a red herring, because straight away afterwards, who would come and boot Edge right in the head and essentially cost him becoming the Universal Champion?
Oh shit.
Seth
Rollins.
Now once again, we all
drama.
predicted this, but this is actually a time that we should have done this nonsense, because it's tied into all the teasing and it ties into where we're going. The only real problem I have is that WWE does it all the time, but here they pulled it off wonderfully. He also came back later on to ensure he did a proper distraction, which meant Edge did get speared, and he lost after the 1, 2, 3. But I thought the way that all of this was worked, you just got to give it a round of applause.
Yeah, that's how fire as fuck.
Enjoy this. Only that one guy.
And then especially since Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins used to be cool. What was their little triple tag team match called with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and fucking Dean Ambrose? I forgot. But anyway, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns were like best friends, you know what I'm saying? When they had that little tag team match. So Seth Rollins coming to do that, I could see Roman Reigns being like, all right, cuz, what's up? Oh, nigga,
Reddit but it still does count as a distraction finish, whether I liked it or not. So we bring down the board. Hilariously, it rolls up to 78. More importantly than all of this, though, was everything that happened afterwards. Because Roman Reigns got a microphone and said, "No, you can acknowledge me." And then WWE did something they haven't done in ages. Rather than promoting a massive return, they surprised our socks off, and I kind of get it because this person is going to be on Raw now, so they did it in order to get ratings for that. But who cares? I was watching the pay-per-view live. I didn't see it coming. But who ran down in order to confront Mr. Roman? Because they're going to have a match at SummerSlam.
Finn Balor?
John Cena.
John Cena up there!
Not as big as this crowd, because honestly, this must have been Stone Cold Steve Austin levels of just craziness, and will absolutely be on top pops of all time next time we do that list. And he didn't even do anything. He just skipped around the ring. Roman looked like he was about to have a heart attack because he couldn't believe it. But how good is this story? Roman Reigns is all about respect, and John Cena has just waddled his way back into WWE and absolutely disrespected him. Cena just smiled the whole time, and this felt huge. It felt genuinely like
Roman Reigns! Roman Reigns better beat the brakes off of this nigga.
Of course I'm going to watch Raw. I'd watch Raw
You
anyway.
better beat the brakes off of this nigga.
Even if I was living in Timbuktu and I didn't have a television, I'd find a way to check it out. So not only is that going to get up, but you know what? Between this and Big E, as a pay-per-view entirety thingamajig, I'm giving it a go.
This shit was fire, nigga.
Happy and wiggly I am. Now,
if you sat through this whole video, bro, I love you. But listen, my G, this was a fire video. Shout out to What Culture Wrestling. Shout out to my boy Simon for making a great video like always. Keeping me up to date because I do not watch the pay-per-views. So thank you, Simon. Thank you, What Culture Wrestling. John Cena versus Roman Reigns. If Roman Reigns don't get in that nigga ass, I'ma be mad. If he don't beat that nigga ass, I would be mad, bro. Oh, man. Great video. A lot of things happen. A lot of action. Big E, Money in the Bank title. I'm happy about that. Who won the women's? Fuck, I forgot. Who did he say won the women's? Hold on, bro. Who won the women's Money in the Bank title real quick? Who won again? It wasn't Alexa Bliss. They pinned her under. I remember. It wasn't Naomi. I would have... excuse me. I definitely would have remembered. Hold on. Nikki! Motherfucking Nikki. That's why I didn't remember. Because she's in a costume now. So Nikki won. She's dressed up as a superhero. So is she not Nikki Cross? Y'all know I took a break from WWE. So a lot of things I'm not used to. Like, they switched some things up. So Nikki Cross, I don't even know if that's her name anymore. He called her Nikki something else. She in a Superwoman costume that's trash. But she won. That's cool. She's a great wrestler. I'm not going to lie. However, I would rather have Alexa Bliss or my baby Liv Morgan. I'm about to follow her on Instagram. I'm about to become a stalker and leave her fucking DMs. I don't give a f. Anyway, this is a great video, bro. Shout out to the gang. This is the last video I'm dropping. I hope all of you guys enjoyed my videos today. I enjoyed them. They were great videos. Shout out to the gang. I love y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Everybody stay up. Peace.